Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I will show you the step-by-step process for painting these beautiful pink roses in watercolors. This painting is quite abstract in nature and beginners can easily paint this. I hope you enjoy painting along with me. So let's get started. I'll begin by telling you about the supplies. I have used Canson XL Cool Press 140 pound A4 size watercolor sheet, synthetic round brushes from Bohemia, scotch tape and white gouache for this tutorial. The link for all the materials I've used can be found in the description below. Now I have taped my A4 watercolor sheet on all four sides using scotch tape, and now I'm beginning to draw the sketch. It's just a rough outline of our image. This is my reference picture. Just make sure that your sketch is really light, as we do not want to see the lines showing once you've laid down your washes. So our sketch is now complete and we'll prepare our colors for application. I'm just diluting a bit of yellow ochre, permanent rose and alizarin crimson hue. I'll work on the background first, so I'm just laying down a wash of clean water around the roses and the vase. And I'll be using some sap green. And I'm using cerulean blue for the sky, just for the top half. And I start dropping in sap green towards the bottom half, just to give a hint of foliage. I'm using a kitchen towel to lift off some paint in places to give a blurry effect. We'll start working on the roses now. So I'm working wet on wet. I've just applied a first wash of yellow ochre, and I'm going to do the same for all the roses. I just decided to go for wet and dry because I thought it'll be quicker to dry and I can just proceed with laying down the next layers. So as you can see, before my first layer had dried, I started dropping in permanent rose color and just spreading it out. So I left gaps in between so that the under layer of yellow ochre shows as well. So we'll be gradually building up the layers for our roses. This is sort of a abstract painting wherein we are not getting to too much detail, as just defining the rough form of the roses and just following our brush. So you don't need to get overstressed about, just making it absolutely precise. I'm now laying down a wash of gold ochre and burnt umber on the vase. So before the roses dry completely, I'm starting to work on other areas. I'm just painting some sap green to create the leaves as well. Okay, so the first layer of the roses is now dry, and we'll start adding in some more detail with a darker pink, which is basically a mix of permanent rose and alizarin crimson hue. I'm using a thinner brush to just add in some detail. So I'm working wet on wet again. I wet certain areas of the rose, not the entire rose. And I'm just dropping in some lines. So I will repeat the same process for the rest of the roses as well. So the wetting part is really important here because I do not want very fine edges. I just want the color to just be really smooth. So there are two ways you can do it. Either you wet the surface before applying the paint, or you just apply the paint wet and dry and then use a clean wet brush to just spread the paint, just to smudge it around. So you'd usually notice that the rose petals, they're darker towards the edges and lighter towards the center. So we're just using the same principle here, just defining the edges of the petals and just smoothing out the rest of the petal, lighter color. So I intermittently do refer to my reference picture just to see where do I want to create the darks and just to define the petals just how they are in the reference picture, but you can be loose and create petals as you like. So we'll start working on the roses at the rear now. We are using wet on wet technique. I want to keep them as slightly blurry, so I'm just making sure I'm not adding too much dark color. I'm just giving a rough outline of the petals with a very diluted color. So we are now adding a bit more detail to the roses in the front using darker color. So this time it's wet on dry. So I've created a darker green color using Indian red and hooker's green, and I'm just darkening certain areas in the background and lifting off paint again because I thought the background is slightly light and I want the flowers in the vase to stand out. So we are just adding a little bit of darker green for more details on the leaves and filling in any gaps in between. So for the final touches on my roses, I'm now using white gouache, which is opaque watercolor paint, to add some highlights to the roses where I felt that I've lost those. Okay, so my painting is now complete and I'm quite happy with the outcome. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and share this video and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to get notified about future videos. I love painting roses and would be back with more tutorials on this subject very soon, so keep watching this space. Bye for now.